Good evening. So we're 5 weeks in on the hydroponics. Look at that lettuce. That looks yummy. There's kale in the back. Some red salad bowl leaf lettuce up here in the front. This is green salad bowl and bok choy back there. Then we've got some more red and kale back there. It's kale. So that tote's full of water. Has been full of water for a week, or just over. That should be getting nutrients and plants in it tonight. However, that's not happening. So I had planted I had planted flying saucer gold and flying saucer red last 2 weeks ago. That is 2 weeks barely coming up. Same here, 2 weeks. Now, in contrast, this lettuce is a week old. This is green salad bowl, so the same as this one here. Okay, but this is a week old, and I had to thin this. I had to pull 5 or 6 plants out of there and leave just one. So I have opted to discontinue the flying saucer. It was an experiment, first time I tried it, but no, it's going in the trash. I'm not gonna waste nutrients on it. It does not look like it's gonna produce. So that's gonna leave me a gap in the grow out, but that's all right. We'll deal with that. So, seed starter. Pulled that flying saucer out. I've replanted. I've got 6 new ones in. I've got red and red salad bowl and kale. These are a week old. Green salad bowl, bok choy, thinned down, ready to go. I'm gonna put the light back down here in a minute, but seed starter is done. This week I'm not adding anything to the rack. That'll get planted next week. Did check my water. I'm just kind of lifting up on the tote. Water looks good. Lettuce feels good so far. So that's all looking good. I did adjust the lights up a bit. As you can see, they're at a bit of an angle right now just because these plants are older and taller than those are. So that's the way it goes. That'd be one thing nice about having 2 racks of hydroponics and planting 6 plants at a time, because then all of them all the way across should be going up about the same height at the same time. So, but anyways, there's the hydroponics update. Microgreens. So we are continuing on with microgreens. I did harvest earlier this week, and these are ones that I had planted prior to. So they're under light now. Couple of things I noticed. So we had gotten a pretty cold spell. This, of course, is a concrete block wall on the outside of the house, on the outside of the basement. So that is colder than the front side of the shelf. So when I had the trays sitting front to back, I did notice the back of the tray was not growing as well as the front side of the tray. And by feel, it was colder back there. So I believe that was the issue. So I decided to put these trays this way. Granted, I can only get 2 trays on a shelf, but I've got broccoli, kale, and the 2 radishes. These are looking kind of a little sparse in here. I did mess up and forget to water them, and some started to wilt and die on me. But I got water in them, and some are recovering, and I just saved some in general. So there's a nice group of kale there. You know, it is what it is. Learning experience. Definitely need to make sure I water. Looking at, and I actually found a flood and drain type tray. So, you know, basically the same principle that I have over here, where I've got the reservoir and a pump pumps up and fills that tote once a day and then lets it back down and drains the tote. Same thing here. So it actually is designed for these racks. It fits here between the uprights and then front to back. It does hang over the front a bit, and it actually comes down so that whatever water doesn't fully drain back into the reservoir will at least come down and drain into the deeper part of the tray here, so that the microgreens are not sitting in water all day long. You need perforated trays in order to grow in this, which for seeds starting, I would either need to have the flood and drain tray, or I'd have to set these trays inside of a non-perforated tray. That way, if anything would drip through, it would catch that water. Good thing is I could set it up to automatically flood and drain, so it's going to automatically water for me, you know, twice a day, 3 times a day, whatever I need it. That'll help for just daily maintenance. I don't have to remember to come down and water them, and if I forget, I'm in trouble. This will continue to water them, so that's good. If we do go on vacation, I may actually be able to leave them and go on vacation for a couple of days and then come back and they'll still be watered, so another benefit there. Problem. So I found them. Like I said, I found them. They're about $50 a piece right now. I figured I'd need 2 of them, one for each of the racks that have lights. I didn't figure I was going to do the germination racks yet. I would just do the 2 of them. The problem is to get them here. The only places I've found will ship them ground freight, and it's like $150, $175 to ship them. So now you're talking, you know, $100 in for 2 trays, and another close to $200, $150 to $200 in shipping. You know, you're talking $300 for 2 trays, which I guess I felt was ridiculous. So looking at other options, I did find a couple of retailers that are about 2-hour drive away from me, so 4-hour round trip. If they have those trays or can get them in with their next order, and I don't have to pay a whole ton in shipping, then, you know, it might be worth me just taking the drive and going and getting them. So anyways, that's where we're at. You know, so again, we started the microgreens for personal consumption as a learning experience. We're bound to make mistakes. Like this watering thing. That's all part of it. It's the learning process. The hydroponics, I had done a lot of the learning process earlier. Then we had the issue, with them not wanting to stand after harvest and just going limp. We're hoping that has been solved. We're going to find out. I'm basically restarting it the exact same way as I've ran it in the past. And we'll see if it was the change in the water from our city. And now, consequently, the new filter that we put in. Microgreens is a whole new ball game for us. Never used them, never grew them. So definitely a lot of learning. So small scale at first, then we can always ramp up. So just sharing some of my startup issues, trials, tribulations, and our life. So with that, I'm going to finish up, and I'm going to go to bed and get up in the morning and go back to work and start another week. So with that, take care. Have a good evening. We'll talk to you later.